You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Bold and the Beautiful fans, I've got your weekly prediction edition. We're going to talk about Carter proposing marriage and Luna being chased out of LA. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt. If you're not following us, please click subscribe. We've got predictions for Carter and Hope, for Daphne, for Ridge, for Liam, and also for Luna. Let's dive right in. And as always, our predictions are always based on official B&B spoilers. Our first prediction, Carter proposes to Hope Logan. So last week, Carter was all, Daphne, you're right. She's, not going to do right by me, yada, yada. And then, she thinks it over and is like, oh, Liam's dying, and goes for the bird in the hand, I guess. And Carter was stunned because he heard what Hope said. We all heard what Hope said, but then she just basically gaslit him. So on Monday, Carter's going all out for Hope. He's barely survived what he thought was a breakup. And here's Carter thinking, I should make a grand gesture. Crazy. And then on Tuesday, spoilers, have Hope giving Carter an answer to the question he asks. And by Thursday, Brooke wants to throw Hope a party, but Ridge isn't sure if he's on board. So if you do the math on all this, it sure sounds like Carter might propose to Hope because of this big grand gesture he's making soon. Now, it could just be he asks Hope to move in, but considering all the women that Carter has proposed to in the past, I feel like he might pop the question to Hope. At this point, Carter should be getting a volume discount at Zales Jewelry because he has bought several rings over the last many years. But since Hope is telling him she's all in and that Carter's her guy and she loves him, he might make a leap of faith. And of course, we all saw Hope refuse Thomas's proposal, but would she do the same to Carter? Or would the outcome be even more diabolical? Worst case is Hope says yes to Carter's proposal under the assumption that Liam is dying. And then this high-risk treatment works and he survives. And Hope might drop Carter and break his heart. I could see it happening. Our second prediction, Daphne changes her mind. So on Monday, Deuce, the pilot, is bringing Daphne over to the airport. I guess she's going to fly back to Paris on the family private jet. So Deuce is not only a pilot, but apparently a chauffeur. And Daphne cannot wait to get out of LA because Carter broke her heart by going back to Hope. And by the way, Carter did it in the most gaslighting way possible. He told Daphne he'd found new love and that he was ready to move on. And then Carter let Daphne paw all over him, clearly knowing that she was assuming Carter chose her. It was awful behavior, in my opinion. So, of course, Daphne doesn't want to stay around and have a front row seat to Hope and Carter's happily ever after. And with Hope back at Forrester Creations, it would all be right in Daphne's face. Plus, Brooke talking about throwing a party for Hope. That could be an engagement party. Daphne doesn't want to sit there for that. And Stephanie isn't going to want her friend to leave, but Steffi may not be able to convince Daphne to stay, but maybe somebody else can. If Daphne and Deuce get to talking on the drive to the airport, the pilot might convince Daphne, don't go, don't give up on love. He may tell her to fight for Carter, and she may change her mind and stick around. What would be amazing is for Daphne to stay, she and Zende to fall for each other, and then Carter realizes Hope has done him wrong, and he runs back to Daphne, but it's too late because she's fallen for Zende by then. We all know Carter never gets a happy ending. And by the way, I'm pretty sure this is Lawrence St. Victor writing these scripts. I think he enjoys playing a tormented version of Carter more than a happy one because it's fun. That's why it's fun for actors to play villains and things like that. Our third prediction, Ridge is in preheat waffle mode. So there's a photo I can't show you for copyright reasons next week of Ridge and Brooke holding hands and smiling and looking happy. We all know Ridge is the captain of the Waffle Warriors on Bold, and it looks like he's in preheat mode and will soon be waffling between Brooke and Taylor and May Flip ladies. So not at this second, in a few weeks though. Friday's episode was nothing but red flags. The way Ridge kept thinking about Brooke and looking at their picture on the laptop of her in the Portofino gown. Plus, Taylor was so certain that she and Ridge are forever, while Brooke kept on to Hope about destiny. So I feel like the writing's on the wall, just not quite yet. I suspect it won't be until after Nick Maroney comes and goes that Ridge goes into full waffle boy mode. Right now, he's telling people he's a changed man who wants to keep his word to Taylor. If he really was changed, Ridge would be saying, I love Taylor. She's my destiny. But instead, Ridge makes it sound like an obligation and keeps standing there while Brooke paws all over him. Not appropriate behavior. And it is kind of an obligation if you think about it, because Taylor's got broken heart syndrome. And when Ridge was getting back with her, Steffi made him promise, don't break my mom's heart. And she meant like literally. So that's where we are. Ridge is already letting Brooke put her hands all over him. He's having little daydreams about her. And once Nick returns and renews his romance with Brooke, that'll drive Ridge off the jealous deep end. He might even propose to Taylor to kind of clap back at Brooke and Nick, but we all know where it's headed. Preheat, waffle making mode, destiny, and then dumping Taylor. Just you wait later this summer. But yeah, our fourth prediction, Liam tries the risky treatment. So there's a spoiler photo. Again, can't show you for copyright reasons, but Liam and Steffi are sitting on the couch talking, looking very serious. And on Monday, Finn asks Liam for a favor. And on Tuesday, Finn and Liam have this bonding moment. So it seems likely with Steffi and Finn's encouragement that Liam's going to go ahead and try this drastic treatment that Grace and Bridget and the neuro team have developed as a protocol for his brain tumor / brain cancer. Steffi is likely going to convince Liam to roll the dice because it's guaranteed death if he doesn't. And she wants Liam to have more time with his family, especially his daughters, Kelly and Beth. Even though it will be extremely difficult on Liam physically and his quality of life will suffer, which Grace warned him, he'll probably end up surviving because of it. That's my guess. Plus, Scott Clifton will have really good material for his Emmy reel. I will say it'd be nice if they were being a little more realistic with the medical issues and treatment options. So it was more of a brain cancer awareness thing, because there's a couple of celebrities right now going through brain cancer stuff. I've seen at least 2 headlines. So, and I don't think they've actually used the word cancer unless they did it and I missed it, but they did use the word oncologist when Grace was talking about the treatment protocol. And of course, that's a cancer doctor. We all know what oncology means. But again, they could be doing this better. They've done it on Y&R. They've done it on General Hospital. They've actually done it on Bold, like back with Stephanie, but they're not doing it now, and they didn't do it with Eric. I don't know what they're thinking. Anyway, our fifth and final prediction, Luna leaves LA, at least for now. So on Wednesday, spoilers have Luna sending Will a provocative message that spirals into an Electra and Luna catfight. By Thursday, spoilers have Sheila breaking up the ladies' brawl she has to get between Luna and Electra. Friday spoilers have Sheila telling Luna she should probably leave LA. She doesn't want her granddaughter to make the same mistakes that she did. And on Friday, Sheila gets an offer from Luna. So after events this week where Sheila sees that Luna is obsessed and out of control, she loves her granddaughter, but I think Sheila thinks Luna needs to leave LA, just get away from it, because she's obviously not going to get well, and what she's going to get is in trouble. Sheila doesn't want Luna to repeat past mistakes, the same kind of mistakes that Sheila herself has made. Plus, Luna cannot afford to get into any legal trouble. The law is watching her. She could go to prison for the rest of her life. So Luna might consider what Sheila's saying and decide to take off. But the offer may be, come on, Grandma Sheila, come with me. Of course, that would make Deacon quite unhappy, but you never know. Sheila may go. It's not like she's around that much. So, and I do think Luna has to leave, at least for a while, because actress Lisa Yamada landed an awesome recurring role shooting soon on the Prime Video series Elle, which is a prequel to the hit movie Legally Blonde. So it seems like the perfect time for Luna to leave.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.